going on, everybody? The Red Dragon here from Battle Strats, and this is Duke Nukem Forever. So I'm going to be showing you a small clip of one of the campaign levels. This is a couple hours in, at least, into the campaign, and this video is kind of my first thoughts and impressions on the single player. This is not talking about the multiplayer at all because I haven't had the opportunity to play multiplayer yet. So Duke Nukem Forever, this game has been in the making for a very long time, like over 10 years literally. So with that, a lot of people are expecting high things. There's a lot of hype going around. I mean, a lot of people are big fans of the game. And when you are waiting on a game that's being made that long, it's hard that you're ever going to meet expectations. And sure enough, Duke Nukem did not meet my expectations. There's a lot of issues that I've got with the game, and I'll go over all of them here. So the first thing is the graphics. They are subpar for what you're used to with a lot of games that are coming out nowadays on the store shelves. This looks like something that could have easily been downloadable and not have to be purchased in the store. As far as, you know, the graphics go, there's a lot of screen tearing when a lot of information and action is taking place on the screen at one time, and it just feels like they're years behind what they should be. Alright, so done with graphics now. As far as the actual gameplay goes, you're going to find a lot of places where you're going to enter these areas, and I have a lot of places where I didn't know exactly where I was supposed to be going, and it's just like there was no map telling me where to go. There's nothing on the screen. There's no real cues. It's just kind of like you had to wander around until you figured out, okay, yeah, now I'm finally at the right place. So that caused me a lot of frustration and anger because I don't have a lot of patience for that type of stuff, because once I've killed everybody and I'm just running around with nothing to do, I don't know, just not my style. Anyway, when you do find action, a lot of it's just like this. There'll be a room full of enemies who are jumping and coming at you. You mow them down, then there'll be more enemies, you mow them down, then you go to another room where you go through the same process over and over. So you know, if you don't like shooters, you're definitely not going to like Duke Nukem. But they have implemented a few items that are meant to try to change up the pace a little bit. Like there was one area before I came to this particular level where I was driving an RC car. But again, I spent a lot of time in the car just riding around trying to figure out where it was that I was supposed to go and what I was supposed to do. There are also a few puzzles that you have to figure out, and some of them are pretty challenging, actually. And then some of them are just kind of like, you know, flat, you know, in your face. This is pretty easy type stuff. But as far as the mechanics go, you know, a lot of walking up to something, tapping A, it just feels kind of like a game that's still stuck back several years, you know, in the past, and it hasn't been brought up to, you know, standard levels that you expect in today's games. As far as, you know, Duke's concerned, if you've ever played Duke Nukem, or if you don't know anything about it, I'll say this, and I believe most people would agree with me, that the shock value bar is set very high with these games. He's going to be saying a lot of things that are meant to, you know, make your mother blush, or something that you would be totally embarrassed if you were playing with it in front of your grandparents. So there's also a lot of sexual innuendos, so this is not a game that kids should be playing. And as far as the humor is concerned, probably the only people who would giggle and laugh at the jokes are probably kids, the same people who shouldn't be playing these games. You know, back several years ago, whenever they first brought out Duke Nukem, and it caused such a controversy and stir because of the shock value, the problem is between now and back then, people's pretty much seen everything there is to see. There's not going to be much that's going to give you that shock value. And a lot of the humor, it's just kind of like it really feels like everybody's grown up except for Duke. And I hate to say that, but I haven't honestly found any parts where I laughed out loud. I haven't been able to get into the storyline. There's no real story here that makes me want to get involved or pay attention. And to me, you know, it didn't take long before I was just playing just to try to get through it, you know, trying to pull out a few achievements here or there, but otherwise, just playing to be done with it. And that's not the feeling that I like to get during a game. As you see, I just took down a big boss, and now I'm using his sack as a punching bag. So, I mean, there are things in there like that. So, you know, some people might find that hilarious. Me, I went in knowing, expecting this is what Duke Nukem was going to be like, and I don't know, I guess that kind of ruined it for me, but with all the problems, like, look at this guy, he's like, hey, get on up here, and I'm like, I'm standing right beside you, so don't yell at me like that, but I don't know, there were so many problems and, you know, issues with the game that whenever it came to those moments that should have made me laugh, it was just kind of like, yeah, oof. I wish the rest of the game was, you know, that entertaining. And I'll leave you with one other example of the graphical problems. Like right here, there's this big fire. So you see that fire extinguisher? So I should shoot the fire extinguisher and it should eliminate the flames. Where did the fire extinguisher go? Alright. There you go. But thankfully his body apparently was full of water or something that put it out. So if you want more videos on Duke Nukem, check back, subscribe, comment, like. Thanks for watching.